the PEI Potato Chowder Challenge. So, yes, give it up for these folks. So, no, we'll just do the intro first. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are watching along or following on the monitors, and how many people have never been to a chowder competition before here? Oh, jumping in for some treat. Well, let me explain what happens. So we're going to be going down, we're going to be talking to every chef. So these are chefs from restaurants right across the island. We're going to be talking to every chef. We're going to be talking to them about their ingredients. We're going to be talking to them about their garnish, how they're going to be finishing. Because it is a competition and they are going for, you know, some serious dollars here in prize money. What's happening is they have 5 plates. So, Stevie, if you can show down, you can see the 5 plates. So 4 of them are for the 4 judges, and 1 is going to be going as a decoration or a showcase plate, and the pictures are going to be taken of it and then submitted online as well as in magazine. So they're going to make sure that they really dress the plates up, not only for the competition, but for the magazine as well. Then, we take our time. Each chef is going to be staggered. As we're done talking to them, the volunteers are going to be told when to go down and grab the next bowls from the next competitor and so on, so that the dishes are staggered heading back into the judges. And when the dishes are staggered, that means the judges get to eat the chowders at their optimal temperature. Very important when you're in a chowder competition. You don't want a chowder sitting back there and cooling down. It's bad enough that the bowls are cool, so it cools the chowder, but having them sit out quite a long time, 10, 15 minutes before the judges get to try them, obviously is going to put that competitor at a disadvantage. So we're trying to make sure that the chowders go at their optimal temperature back to the judges. Now, once all of the show plates, we'll call them, the competition plates are back in the room and the judges are deliberating, then do you see these magical little bowls? This is 2 ounces of gold, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'll explain what happens is each chef will then, when they're done, the music will be playing on the stage, so don't mind that. But when they're all done and the plates are back, they will start putting them in these little bowls. On my cue and only on my cue, you ravenous beasts will then rush the stage. This is the only time where friends and neighbors become mortal enemies. You will trip an old lady in a walker to get a cup of chowder ahead of her. It's true story. So, in an orderly fashion, make your way. Now, you will see all the contestants. You will hear about all their ingredients. You will want to try 1 or 2. Here's a strategy, and I'll lay it out for you. If you got 1, 2, or 3, 4 people in your whole little posse there, you say, okay, Marge, you go to number 6. Bill, you hit 1. Sally hit 3. I'm going for 9. You see how this works? You got 2 hands. Load them up, people. You get a couple from each one. You come back and you share. And if your neighbor's sitting next to you, got 2 or 3 bowls, she's sitting by herself, grab one of hers. To hell with her. Like, really? So, but I will call you forward in an orderly fashion. Please make your way. Don't trip your neighbor. Try and get a bowl of chowder and sample. And this is wonderful. You actually get to taste some award-winning chowders. Okay? Everybody all set? Good. Let's meet our competitors and see what they've made for us. So the first one that we're going to be talking to, this is her first time in this competition. It's Chanel Doucette from Redwater Rustic Grill, right in the Holman Grand in downtown Charlottetown. Chanel, welcome. Thank you for going in the competition this year.
Thanks.
Okay, so what have you done with your chowder this year? Is this a standard chowder that's at Redwater, or is this something that you've made special for this competition?
It's something special for this competition. It's thickened with Yukon Gold potatoes, and we have some baby reds in there. There's some corn and roasted red peppers, lobster, halibut, mussels, clams, all the good stuff.
All the good stuff. What? Now, see what I'm talking about? You guys all want to try this one already, don't you? It's only a little bucket that she's got here, people. It's 2 ounces. Okay, so we'll get you to take the lid off. And folks, take a look on the monitors. Look at the beautiful colors. Now, she's going to hold a ladleful up Oh my goodness, look at that beautiful lobster. Look at the colors, full whole mussels. You can see the corn, or the clams, I mean. The corn, where the hell did you pull that from, Rob? Anyway, that's what happens when you drink the night before. You can't do live TV, you can't. So look at the beautiful, and you can see that it was thickened with potatoes. Now, those of you folks with gluten allergies, we will be saying if they are gluten friendly or not as we move our way down. And this one is
Yeah, it's gluten-free.
definitely gluten free because it was thickened with potatoes. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Chanel, for going in the competition. This certainly means a lot to get the whole island embraced into this competition. Now, what we'll let you do is you can start plating for the judges. How are you going to be decorating your plate? What's your garnish going to be?
So we have local chamomile flowers and some sage oil and a pumpkin turmeric roll.
Right here, Stevie. I know, right? How creative is that? So it is pumpkin spice season. Every time you go through Tim Hortons, you know, geez, pumpkin spice everything, right? So we do have this roll right here, and she's going to be decorating her dish. Best of luck to you, and hope you do well in your first competition. Thank you all very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Chanel Doucette, all the way from the Redwater Rustic Grill. Now, I don't want to jump in front of the sous chef either, so we'll go in between both of you. How's that? Okay, so we got Shaquille Akhtar from the Wheelhouse in Georgetown. So Georgetown, the Wheelhouse, has played quite a part. We've had Darren in the competition earlier, LeBlanc in the Caesar competition, Terry and Marion were up with Chef Lynn earlier. Now we got Shaquille in the chowder competition. So essentially, Georgetown is taking over the festival. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah.
So tell us, Shaquille, about this chowder. Is this chowder that you normally serve at the Wheelhouse restaurant in Georgetown, or is this one that you created for this?
Created for this, I guess, yeah. Not,
What do you mean you guess? Geez, you either did or you didn't.
the broth is a little bit different, but most of the ingredients are the same.
Well, obviously with the chowder ingredients, it is the same. Why don't you get a ladleful and hold it up for the camera, please? Shaquille, don't pull the camera off your shoulder. There we go. We're good. So we'll get a good ladleful up there. Wow, look at that. Look at that lobster, the whole lobster. And do you know how difficult that is, ladies and gentlemen, to shell a lobster and get the pincher as well as the main part of the claw? Very difficult for a guy like me. Now, Shaquille, you're a little bit more of a professional, so it's probably not a big deal for you. So who do you have working with you today?
This is Colin. His mother works with us at the Wheelhouse, and he's been shucking mussels all day in the back there on the truck for us.
Nice. So, Colin, you're acting as sous chef today, and they're putting you right to work. Is this your first competition?
Yes.
So, you're pretty passionate about cooking yourself? You want to get involved in it?
Yes.
Awesome. So, well, you're not going to be a public speaker, so... No, I'm just joking, buddy. I'm just joking. So, Shaquille, how are you going to be doctoring your dish here?
Some celery hearts, some pickled onions, some fried, country fried mussels, which you can actually purchase in the back corner if you'd like from the Terry's Berries truck.
Nice little plug right there, eh? How's your revenue, Terry? It's going to be good in a minute. What else are you going to do with it?
That's pretty much it. Yeah, keeping it simple.
Okay, for keeping it simple. Yeah, oh yeah, look what he has for a garnish. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it simple. I see. Country fried mussels. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever make your way down to Georgetown, make sure you check out the Wheelhouse Restaurant. One of the most amazing and beautiful sunsets that you'll watch from the deck anywhere in Prince Edward Island. It's absolutely magical down there. And thanks very much to Shaquille for entering this chowder into the competition. Thanks very much. Best of luck to you. Oh, I'm good there. All right, next we're going up the street just a little bit, not too far. You probably walk down with this chowder. We got Kobe Adams from Fishbones, part of the Murphy Hospitality Group. And Kobe, welcome. Welcome. This isn't your first time in this competition, is it?
Second year, yeah.
Second year. And what made you decide to come back in? It just missed me?
It was mainly you, and also because we didn't win last year, so we got to try again.
That's right. So if at first you don't succeed, try again. So is this a Fishbones normal chowder, or is this something that you created for the competition?
It's a hyped up version of the one we sell at the shop, absolutely.
So tell the folks what's in. I'll let you slide over, and and Stevie will get a couple of good shots. Folks, you can have a look at the monitor. Tell the folks what the ingredients are.
Absolutely. So the broth itself is halibut broth, mussel juice, a ton of seafood, and then we do roasted nori as well. So it's a potato thickened chowder with just a ton of seafood flavor in there.
Perfect. So this is a gluten-free chowder as well, a gluten-free chowder. So, and I didn't ask you, is yours gluten-free? It is. So the first three are gluten-free. If you have a gluten intolerance, bang, here's your choices. Okay, now what are you going to be garnishing? Beautiful chowder, by the way, Kobe. What are you going to be garnishing your dish with?
Straight up, just some chopped chives, parsley, and brown buttered bread.
Oh, no good at all, is it? Brown buttered bread. It looks like it was crisped or roasted off in the oven as well to prepare it for that. And what do we have here? Just some chives and
Parsley as well, absolutely.
perfect. Keeping it simple, letting the chowder do the talking, right? That's when you know you're confident, ladies and gentlemen, when you have such a good chowder, is that you can let it do the talking. You don't have to worry about all the fancy stuff to dress it up, right?
That's exactly the hope, yeah.
Awesome. See, we're on the same page. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're making your way up, it's on Victoria Row, Fish Bones. Check it out, Chef Kobe Adams. Thanks very much, Kobe, for joining us. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know this gentleman looks a lot like Sean Bowman, but it's not. It's actually John Belson. It's John Belson. He's a doppelganger. So, you're from the Chicken Chowder boat, correct? And it's in St. Peter's Bay, just a few miles up the road from my hometown of Morel. So, welcome. Good to bring some. We're probably going to win everything. Best people in the world are from out there. But anyway, why don't you tell the folks about your chowder, John?
Well, it's a homemade chowder. It's exactly how we serve it in the restaurant. We've got PEI potatoes, we've got cream, we've got mussels, lobster, haddock.
Can you take a big ladle full out and hold it up for the camera so Stevie can show the oh my goodness gracious, look at that. Show the folks home. You can see the big, yeah, get some more meat in there. It's a lot better than the chowders that Liam Dolan used to have. You just used to let the fish swim through it and called it a fish chowder. So what else do you have in this? You pretty much named everything in your chowder.
A couple secret ingredients. We've got some tarragon and dill and a few other things in there.
Just to enhance the flavor, something a little bit different, right, for the palate.
Bring it out, that's right. And of course, it's gluten-free.
First four, gluten-free. Everybody's very sensitive about gluten-free, and why? You know what? Having a gluten-free chowder isn't going to bother me, who doesn't have the intolerance, but it will bother somebody, right? So why not make one that can encompass everybody? So I love what the chefs are doing. So how are you going to be garnishing your dish today?
Well, after we put that in there, and we're going to be putting some nice steamed mussels on the top of it, and a roll on the side, and a little bit of parsley.
Roll and a roll on the side and some parsley?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And who do you have as your sous chef today?
This is my wife, Sandra.
Hi, Sandra. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. How long you folks been in St. Peter's now?
About 2.5 years.
And just fell in love with the place. Pretty beautiful where the St. Peter's Bay comes right in, isn't it?
Right on the bay, we have great view. We have a hotel there and then a restaurant, and it's a lovely little spot. I like it there.
Excellent. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the St. Peter's area, drop by the, what is it called? The Bayview Suites and the Chicken Boat restaurant. Oh, the Chicken Chowder Boat. Oh, my jumpers. There's a tongue twister. It makes sure the Chicken Chowder Boat. All right, right, and the Bayview.
St. Peter's Bayview Suites.
St. Peter's Bayview Suites. Make sure you drop by and check it out. If you're not from here, take a drive out Route 2. It's about 32 and a half minutes. If you're having a few late at night, you can do it in about 21. But don't worry, for every 1 mile of highway, there's 2 miles of ditch, and they're only shallow, so you're fine. Go on. Go on. Oh, hey, and if you're too full, he'll rent you a room. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up, John Belson from the Chicken Chowder Boat in beautiful St. Peter's, PEI. Thanks, guys. There's my old buddy Mitchell. I'll come on this side. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Colada Oyster House, Chef Mitchell Jackson. And Chef Mitchell, why don't you tell us about your chowder, your entry this year?
We've kind of been coming the last couple of years with the same chowder. It tends to go over fairly well, so here it is again. Yeah, it's a chowder that's really based on sort of the fall produce and all the seafood that is available to us right now. So there's halibut, scallops, lobster, clams, mussels, salmon, and then there's a couple other ingredients that are in it, like butternut squash, turnip, carrots, and celery and onion.
And that's something that you don't normally hear about in a chowder, ladies and gentlemen, or when you're making it home. Traditionally, in my house, turnip was never something, you put it in a boiled dinner or else you were in trouble, but you didn't put it in a seafood chowder. And the creativity that we're seeing from all of these chefs and how they're branching out and what they're doing with these chowders is absolutely amazing. And I'll get a good ladleful and hold it way up so Stevie can, look at that. Doesn't that look delicious, ladies and gentlemen? Try being right here and smelling every one of those. Oh, so good. All right, Mitchell, what are you going to be garnishing your dish with? Someone just said he's fat enough, he doesn't need any. I heard you, dear. Some rude. I'm never inviting my mother back here again. So what are you going to be garnishing your dish with?
These are smoked mackerel donuts.
Smoked mackerel donuts. Did you ever try and smoke mackerel? Tough to get the buggers lit, I'll tell you that. Well, it's legal now. Oh, no, that's not mackerel that's legal. Never mind. Smoked mackerel donuts. So this is the first time I've seen these at the competition. Tell us, what was your inspiration on these?
I had smoked mackerel, and I was stuck for an idea, so I made donuts.
Pretty simple, eh? I figure. Excellent. Well, best of luck to you, and good luck in the competition this year. Ladies and gentlemen, Colada Oyster House, Chef Mitchell Jackson. Now, you see our next chef clapping, but he doesn't really mean it, because in the same establishment that Chef Mitchell Jackson is downstairs at the Colada Oyster House, you take just a couple of stairs up, and you're going to go to the Old Dublin Pub. And at the Old Dublin Pub, that's where Chef Jeff Milligan hangs his hat and resides and shows off his cooking prowess. So, Jeff, I will say, two completely different looking chowders. Yours is a lot more colorful, so take that in your mackerel donuts. No, I'm just joking. All right, Jeff, why don't you tell us a little bit about your chowder? Last year, you were in this competition, and I think you had fallen, and you had broke like 3 or 4 ribs, and broke 5 ribs, and he said, "Here, talk to me like this." So it sounded like you know, when you're at Tim Hortons and the drive-through cuts out, you know, like ubble with extra cream and also a cookie. So that's what Jeff was like last year when he was describing his chowder. It's got potatoes, stuff, and oh gosh, here we go. So anyway, it's good to see that you're back to fighting weight again, Jeff. The size of you, oh my goodness, run around the shower to get wet sometimes. But anyway, not like me. I get the full flow. Tell the folks about your chowder, Jeff.
Well, I just made a bacon corn chowder. Added your seafood, lobster, halibut, scallops, mussels, clams, celery, carrots, onions, and your herbs.
Wow, beautiful. Why don't you take up a big ladleful and show the folks. Folks, if you want to have a look on the monitors, Jeff's going to get a good ladleful. Hold it up. Wow. Like the whole claws are in here, people, not just a bunch of cracked meat. And you can see the potato. You can see the carrots. You can see the lobster, the clams, soft-shelled clams in there. Absolutely beautiful chowder. And all of them. So is that gluten-free? Did I ask you that? That is not. So number 5 is not gluten-free. Jeff, is yours gluten-free? Okay, so 5 and 6, if you have a gluten intolerance, stay the hell away from here. Oh, geez, it'd be bad. You'd be lined up for the porta potty. You'd miss all the bands and everything probably. It'd be no good. That's like the 3 fellas that were talking, and they were all arguing about what's the fastest thing in the world. One fella says, well, I think a thought is the fastest thing in the world. A thought? How do you get that? Well, as soon as you think of something, boom, it's right there. And the other fellow said, no, it's blinking, because you don't even know you blink. You just do it and you don't miss anything. Oh, geez, that's pretty good too. And the other fellow said, you know what, I think electricity is the fastest thing in the world, because once you flick the switch, boom, the lights are on. But I'm the smartest fella in this whole tent. I said, boys, I'll tell you right now, it's diarrhea. That is the fastest thing in the world. And they said, diarrhea, Rob. And I said, yes, this morning when I woke up, before I could think, blink, or turn on the lights, I shit myself. And that's true story. Like, I'm not even sure how we got to that story. But anyway, we're going to go back and sometimes inside words come out. You guys know how it works. Okay. So, broken ribs to diarrhea. We got it all here on the chowder competition. Oh, we talked about gluten. That's what it is. Okay. So these are not gluten friendly. All right, what are we going to garnish your plate with? Wow, I'll just, here, take it.
We got a mini lobster roll and a croissant.
Mini lobster roll on a croissant. I guess you're not going to be doing a lot of public speaking either later on down the road. Okay, so it's looking a little bit more than that, but it's very beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, from the, where the hell do you work? Old Elm Pub, that's it. Probably should have left that place before 2 a.m. this morning. Why? He wouldn't look like this. Chef Jeff Milligan. All right, we're going to go down now to the Hop Yard and Daniel Borghese. Oh, gosh. Borghese. Had it the first time, I nailed it, and then, you know what, started talking to Jeff, got all thrown off. Okay, Daniel, so you work at the Hop Yard right on Charlottetown on Kent Street, right beside the Doolies there. So why don't you tell the folks about the chowder that you've made for us? And folks, as you'll notice when Stevie zooms in on the chowder a little later, the color of this chowder completely different than anything we've seen down the line. So Daniel Borghese, tell us about your chowder.
So I started off with a pickled beet base. And then it's carrot, onion, the local potatoes, sweet potatoes, and then just loaded it full of seafood. So there's mussels that have been cooked off with more beets, a little bit of jalapeno, some garlic and onion, halibut, and lobster.
Okay, why don't you tell the folks, show the folks, is this a gluten-free chowder? It is. Okay, so 5 and 6, to hell with them. Come back to 7 again. So take a big ladle full out. Look at the beautiful colors, the textures of those. Hold it up for Stevie so we can get a good shot of it. Look how beautiful that is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my goodness. So how are you going to be garnishing your dish here today, Daniel?
So I've got a little bit of a buttery cracker crumble, some lobster claws, fresh dill, mussels, cracked black pepper, and then honey cream.
Wow, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about attention to detail. All the way from the Hop Yard, if you're wandering around Charlottetown, ladies and gentlemen, and you happen to make it up to Kent Street, stop in and see them at Hop Yard. Very interesting establishment where they only keep the menu for a week or two, and then they can, 2 weeks, and then they continually change it up. So it's always fresh. It's always innovative. You never know what you're going to find. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Daniel from the Hop Yard in Charlottetown. So now we have Seth Shaw, which his name's always a tongue twister, so that's why I kind of take my time, as Seth Shaw from the Brick House in Charlottetown. Now, very famous restaurant for another reason. A few years ago, you guys with the Brickinator won the Burger Love competition for PEI, and now you're coming at us with a chowder. I love this. What are you going to? What do you have for the folks today?
Okay, we have traditional chowder. It's got flour in it, flour roux based, and we made our broth with mussel broth, and haddock, lobster, scallops, mussels, and PEI, lots of PEI potatoes. There's a bunch of chunks right there. Lots of PEI potatoes. There you go.
Okay, hold a nice big ladle full up for Stevie. They're trying to get that perfect ladle that shows a little color, shows all the chunks, the consistency. Look at that beautiful chowder, how creamy it is. Oh my gosh, that stick to your ribs right there. Look at that. And how are you going to be garnishing your dish today?
Okay, we have oyster cracker. It's the cracker shaped like an oyster, not your traditional oyster cracker, but there you go right there. And we're putting a mussel bruschetta inside with garnished with some lobster roe, some quahog and ricotta puree, pea leaf, and coral oil.
Wow, that's just his garnish. That's just the pretty part of the dish. Amazing. I love this. The cracker shaped like an oyster, the oyster cracker, the play on words there. Beautiful. I love the ingenuity. I love the attention to detail. Best of luck, Seth Shaw from the Brick House. Okay. Now we're heading right across the waterfront. Gage Molyneux from Peaks Key. And Gage, so your coworker did very well, finished second in the Caesar competition. So pressure's on with you, old buddy. Pressure's on.
We thought we were going to go try for the trifecta, but Mark didn't do so well in the oyster shucking, so...
I love that he's throwing shade. Mark Dolan choked on the oyster shucking. That is beautiful. Oh my gosh, you're getting fired. Oh. Anyway, Gage, very talented chef. My daughter actually works at the restaurant with Gage and talks about how good of a chef that you are. So really looking forward to what you're going to be bringing here today. So tell us about your chowder, and maybe we can get a ladle full up that Stevie can see there. They're all good ones. There we go.
So it is a traditional chowder. There is flour and butter in it, roux-based. Lots and lots of heavy cream. I made a stock using halibut, lobster, mussels, as much seafood as I could pack into it. I would say my kicker in this is I put a lot of sambuca.
Seriously? Well, that's good to know, because if you've just come from a meeting, like with that 12-step program, yeah. Perhaps this might be a little worse than gluten for you. So, and this is a judge-free zone. I'm just letting you know. Hey, how'd you get along? Well, 27 years sober, come off the wagon after a bowl of chowder. So don't ever go back to PEI again, ladies and gentlemen. So we don't need that. So there is some sambuca in it. Stevie, we will get a big ladle full here for you to see. Look at those big chunks of potato and seafood. Love them. Baby red potatoes. How nice is that? All right. So, Gage, tell us about how you're going to be garnishing your dish today, please.
We've got a PEI potato chip, fennel fronds, seared scallops, and then some vegetable curls.
Some vegetable curls. So you can see the chips. You can see the scallops, Stevie. Nice. Very nice. And if there was one scallop went missing, oh, no, never mind. I won't touch it. Ladies and gentlemen, please make your way to the waterfront, and you can check out the wares of Chef Gage Molyneux. All right, so now we're going to the Gahan and Chef Brandon Bowers. Brandon, we had some technical difficulties backstage. Your stove wouldn't keep going, so he was initially number 2. We moved him down to 10 just so that we could keep the competition fair and allow him to, be able to plate to the judges. So hopefully your chowder is up to temperature. You're good to go. Perfect. Okay, Brandon, why don't you tell us about your chowder and what you have in it, and hold up a big ladle full so Stevie can get a look at it.
So my chowder is a traditional base as well. Its stock is based off lobster. And then for seafood, I have some lobster, some halibut, scallops, and blue mussels. I also used Yukon Gold PEI potatoes. And it is very, very rich, and it's very, very delicious.
Okay, and sorry, someone was talking in my ear and I can't do 2 things at once. Is it gluten-free?
100% not.
100% not, okay. So that'll take you off the wagon, and that'll take you off your seat, literally, and put you on a different one. Okay, so beautiful chowder. I love the chunks. I love the colors. The lobster. So, folks, when he held the ladle up, it's such a white, rich chowder. You can see the colors of the lobster and the other vegetables and the mussels really pop out at you. Absolutely beautiful chowder. And, Brandon, how are we going to be garnishing your dish today?
I'm going to be garnishing with seasoned baby red PEI potatoes. I also have some wild pick thyme flowers, and then I also have a fused chili oil that's also fused with some lobster roe.
Wow, absolutely beautiful. And who's the sous chef you have working with you today?
This is my sous chef, Vanessa.
Hey, Vanessa, how are you? So I'm happy to be here, aren't you?
Totally, yep.
She's going to be a public speaker someday, too.
Absolutely. She's just looking, get this creepy fat guy away from me. I'm reaching in here to steal one of your chips, and I'll get into this a little bit later on. Ladies and gentlemen, you have met the 10 contestants. They are going to, round of applause for all of them. Gage has his arms up like he's in the WWE. Oh my goodness, look at you. All right, so now we are going to take our time. We're going to throw it to the band very shortly. We're going to take our time. We're going to make sure that they got all the presentation plates back on my command only. And only on my command, ladies and gentlemen, in an orderly fashion. We'll be able to come up to try some of these chowders. Wait for my cue. We're going to be right back, and we certainly hope you enjoy them. I burned your nailed that.